for all of you joining us. I am Archangel. I will be your captain. We are expecting some turbulence, but we will reach liberation safely. So again, welcome aboard. Being awakened, I finally see my surroundings for what they are and always have been. And what any awakened male observes is how he discovers himself surrounded, inundated, saturated, drowning in a sea of thirsty males. It really is horrifying, the reek of desperation and need that males wear on their sleeves for female attention, female acknowledgement of any kind. Still, when you are a needy utility drone like every other dude, you have no clue that you are simply one of an infinite sea of forlorn males, savagely competing for female validation. Males desperate for female interaction, for female acknowledgement, for female attention, for female approval, for female affection. This is what we call male thirst. They are distraught without female validation, like a fish is distraught when removed from water. The whole paradigm of devaluing males to justify their disposability, the abuse males endure under this platform of apathetic usage, the indoctrination of males who think themselves inferior in value to females, which leads to males soliciting female approval, the reek of desperate thirst males secrete from their pores around cute chicks. This is all so disgusting. No other way to put it. Thirsty males are disgusting. I watched a group of kids working out the other day, and I watched one young man all but salivate down his chin as he eyeballed one of the girls in the group, who spent the lion's share of the workout eyeballing and primping herself in the mirror. I felt this palpable desire he was emitting for her. I just thought, you are headed for heartache, and there is nothing I can do for you. If I were to pull him aside and administer red pill CPR, they would likely prove ineffectual. Time and again it has been demonstrated my admonitions would fall on deaf ears. Males need to be burned, some multiple times over, before they have the emotional fortitude to step back and reflect on the true cost-reward ratio of courtship chemical highs and 3-second orgasms. And this kid was fresh out of military, with traditionalist disposability refrains still ringing in his head. God, honor, duty, country, and especially white knighterry, which is one constant piece of baggage males seem to retain from military molding. The man up, protect, and provide white knight syndrome. I observe daily married males openly chatting up cute chicks everywhere. Their need for female interaction is so insatiable. They will flirt with every attractive chick they can. One guy I have talked to swears he is happily married, yet he flirts with another chick who is recently single. They laugh and giggle with each other, and he cockblocks other guys who have interest in her. Yeah, it's silly how much married dudes cockblock every other guy. Married guys already have a female, yet they want to hoard more and more to themselves to bolster their alpha delusions of being head lion with a harem of lionesses at his disposal. This is why guys compete for alpha, because they want to avoid the disposability single and family males are saddled with. But also, alpha has the allure of securing a spot on the favorable side of the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the female populace is drawn to the 20% of males with power, social stature, or excessive wealth, whom we designate as alphas. Alpha being a female custodial position within gynocentrism. You will see that alphas and married dudes are just as pathetic, just as needy as desperate, unattached breast chasers. Sometimes more so. They all seek to chat up females just to get acknowledgement and hopefully brief bouts of flirtation, which is preferable secondary only to physical affection. Single guys flirt different from taken males. Singles wear neediness on their sleeves, with desperation dripping off their lips, no matter how cool or confident they act. This is easily detected, giving females the superior bargaining position through the power to reject. Married guys use the married racket to disarm strange skirts, so they can openly flirt with them in plain sight, without the adversarial wall chicks erect to begin testing and teasing single, needy males. I heard a group of guys talking about girls and sex the other day, and their exaltation of females, sex, and their need for both caused me to visibly snort. I care for males. I believe in males. They are capable of anything, yet I am continually repulsed by how weak and pathetic guys are. As I listened to these guys praise women and sex, I could sense the desperation in their words, the insatiable need in their eyes, as they talked about female interaction with macho, manly man skirt-banging overtones. Yet knowing these guys and their situations, there was an interesting dance occurring here. Two were single, one was married, and the two single guys seemed jealous the third guy had someone, a regular source of affection and validation. Meanwhile, the third guy is so bored that he over-brags his wife, which reveals his true discontentment. Both seem to covet the other's situation. Singles want a steady source of attention, and taken males secretly envy lost freedom, especially when a hot girl walks by. But then, this is simply the age-old quandary of discontentment, where people say the grass is greener on the other side. This is traditional wisdom. I daily listen to groups of bachelors lamenting their lack of relationships, hiding their desperation behind contrived peacocking and posturing, invoking laughter over money shots in the hair. One of the many downstream effects that comes with awakening to male disposability is that you become acutely aware of the thirsty males surrounding you. Thirsty dudes are so epidemic. Male validational need is so ubiquitous. Many times I have to purposefully block out guys when in public merely so I can get things done, rather than spend my time consumed with disgust for the sex I am trying to liberate. I watch guys who eyeball females, waiting for any hint or glance of acknowledgement. Guys in public trying to catch the eyes of pretty girls. I see the desperation in guys' actions, the hunger in their glances at females. I watch guys go up and make friends with couples, where the guy has a good-looking, sometimes just an average-looking, girlfriend or wife, just to have interaction with a female, even if she is somebody else's. I watch how guys become all thumbs and left feet around pretty girls. I feel the worship and exaltation they bestow on artificially painted up females, as if they were literal angels. I see the desperation of males to receive attention from females. I see it every day, all day. Guys so desperate for female attention, it reeks on them. Young, old, single, married, it doesn't matter. Males being devalued to the point they seek value bolstering from the objects of gynocentrism. All males are looking for the next pat on the head from a female, whether it be spouse, family member, coworker, friend, anonymous stranger, whom you hold the door open for or let in front of you in the checkout line. This is why guys do not try to hide looking at other females in public. Besides being visual creatures, enchanted by colorful, shiny things. More significantly, guys, no matter their relationship status, simply seek acknowledgement of their existence from anonymous females. The damage we, the dealers of gynocentrism, have precipitated upon males through devaluation cannot be healed by one female. So guys seek approval from as many females as possible through service and white knightery. Every new pat on the head from females is another band-aid to lay atop the gaping hole in their esteem reservoir caused by the mass besmirchment, depreciation, and abuse of males in order to morally justify their discardability. No matter where I am, I can taste desperation surrounding males. Doesn't matter if they are puppy dog nice guys just out of high school, or whether they are tough guys fighting with other guys at the bar. I see a desperate wretch looking for breasted approval regarding their own existence. Guys that are forever talking about girls or sex simply to proclaim their need, their incompleteness, their disapproval of their own existence through nervous, transparent machismo, peacocking, and posturing for other guys. Thirst is ugly. Thirst is repugnant. Thirst is pathetic, and thirsty is what I used to be. I was a disgusting, embarrassing example of the male sex. The other day, I was walking through the store, and I saw an attractive female. Then, I went to see if eggs were on sale. I paused later on to recount how I dismissed her with unconscious automaticity. The blue pill archangel would have seen a hot chick, and his heart rate would have increased. His palms would have began sweating, and he would have started obsessing over her. Should he make another pass down the bread aisle to try and catch her eye? And, if that failed, maybe a second pass, as he would pretend to be debating some purchase. Or he could try surveilling her through the store, waiting for an opportunity to approach. Many males are seen as creeps because they tail females looking for acknowledgement, and seeing attractive chicks in public would trigger need and desire, hitting my stomach like a meteor crashing in the savannah. I would think about her for the next hour and feel unhappy with my single incompleteness. It would precipitate a cascade of self-loathing and unhappiness, because I was a murdering, raping plunderer who was broken and damned by creation to seek little bits of approval from the angels amongst us, who, up till now, have denied me the eternal validation that romance stories promulgated would happen once you found the right one. You would be saved, redeemed, and loved forever, right? Yet I saw this attractive female, dismissed her looks, and observed her behavior, glancing around herself as she walked, taking inventory of who was checking her out. I saw the ego and superiority entitlement oozing from her, something that thirsty males cannot see. I watched anonymous guys glance at her, and the air was electric with their thirst. And I simply thought two things. A, when she hits the wall, it's not going to be pretty. And two, thank God she is someone else's problem. I was listening to a commercial one day, and a local lingerie company had an ad about tantalizing and spicing up relationships with warming lotion or lacy this and fishnet that. And the advert was meant to mentally whet males' appetites for carnal distraction. And indeed, most guys listening to the wording would go on an imaginary trip of female exaltation and sexual longing. I heard the commercial, and indeed it caused me to picture the thongs and bustiers that the female narrator was peddling in a breathy voice. The Blue Pill Archangel would have mentally salivated for female attention and affection inspired by such lingerie ads. However, the liberated Archangel thought, what a waste of time, money, and energy. Putting lace on chicks does nothing. It still costs you to be with her. She is still squeezing you for utility. She still has bad breath in the morning, and whether she removes lingerie or simply pulls her muumuu up to her hips, it still results in the same 3 seconds of rebel yell, followed by days, weeks, years of toil, labor, and abuse in order to get the next session. Lingerie is simply buying novelty frocks to dress females in because we are no longer aroused by this lady in her plain natural state after having heard her mouth for more moons than we care to inventory. I love the moments I realize how truly grateful I am to be free. Females, sex, all their enticements are pathetic, even silly to me now. I can see hot chicks, and my breath no longer catches. I see sex or kissy scenes in movies, and I yawn. And if they are drawn-out sex scenes, I fast forward. I see kissy people in public, and I think a couple of things. 1, dude, one day you will learn. 2, seeing kissy people in public is like watching people shoot up. So, needles or lines of coke in public, not cool. But kissing? Yeah, that's fine. And 3, people, get a room. I can see porn and roll my eyes in boredom. Liberation is amazing. It is painful to achieve, but it is so rewarding. None of the superficial attractiveness or sexual innuendo that blue pill males live for, none of that crap impresses me anymore. Sure, old programming tries to resurface, but I am so safeguarded with red pills that it has literally become as a theater. I sit back and watch old impulses and desires try to reemerge as red pill monk philosophy lays the smack down on old simp files. I have my monkhood on automaticity. It is awesome. My friends, stay strong. It gets so much better. When you first awaken, you are angered by male mistreatment, but you still have female longings rising and trying to sabotage you. And sadly, many green MGTOW have branches too weak to hold the totality of reality and the depths of the rabbit hole, and thus they flee back to the familiarity of the matrix, like Cypher. Yet, if you choose to grapple with validation solicitation syndrome every time it arose, and stayed resolute in your loyalty to male welfare and personal empowerment, one day it becomes a non-issue. Eventually, your old triggers meet disgust from you. Hot chicks, sexual innuendo, women playing on fragility or motherhood, all these malicious premeditated manipulation tactics will meet crickets, because the former doughy, douche-filled, man-ape doormat shovel you used to be is no longer home. You exist in a higher realm, where you see these manipulations in the light of day, and what once would have caused you thirst and desperative longing now induces repulsion, followed by gratitude. To your lucky stars, these parasites are someone else's problem. Sadly, some guy somewhere out there is being schooled by entitled gynocentric representatives. And indeed, if you are awakened, you were once that naive, ignorant, weak guy putting up with abuse, as some other emancipated male looked at you and thought, dude, you are in for lots of heartache. Well, I guess you gotta learn. Better you than me. Seriously, to all you males who still mess with the slave masters romantically, you cannot be helped until you realize you have value. This is the only way males awaken, when the abuse they endure surpasses tolerances, and they say, hey, I have worth, I deserve better. Only through value reclamation do males start to pull themselves from the gyno swamp. If guys never realize personal value of existence, they will forever service and solicit females for approval. Once you realize, I am not worth less, I am not disposable, no matter how many social nature paradigms I hear, I do not deserve devaluation nor mistreatment. Only then will you begin the journey of awakening and self-empowerment. Till then, males thinking themselves inferior in worth will remain privy to the Iron Maiden we call relationships. Once males start reclaiming value, they start awakening. Till you see your worth, you are lost, and you will endure abuse and criminally impose it on other males, especially any juveniles charged to your care. You need to be burned over and over. Yet once you begin to awaken, you see reality. Hot chicks will age. Beauty fades. Sex is fleeting and too expensive, and it does nothing to shut her mouth or remedy the power she has to ruin your life any time she wants. And above all, ask yourself, how many kisses, how many pats on the head, how many sessions of female-assisted ejaculation, how much will ever be enough? You are thirsty for female acknowledgement, but how much will ever be enough? There is no number, because you have an affliction, a disorder. You are thirsty. No amount of attention, affection, or validation will ever be enough. You will always be found wanting, anticipating the next female attention band-aid, then the next, and still the next after that. You are tragically impugned by devaluation. No female or amount of female validation will heal you. No amount of female affection sessions will ever make you whole. No amount of good boy pats on the head will ever be enough. You will have to meet the business end of worth discrepancy to begin to recognize the prison of gynocentrism. I look around, and my pity for males gets supplanted by disgust over their state of thirst, their desperation, their need for female acceptance, their utter depreciation of themselves and their sex. You know how when you see someone with toilet paper hanging out of their pants or food on their face that nobody has informed them of, you think how ridiculous they look. Moreover, when you are the one with the booger hanging out of your nostrils or the food in your teeth that no one tells you about, and you finally realize it, you get irritated that nobody told you. Well, guys, your female desperation is hanging out of your pants, your nose, and you look ridiculous. It would be funny if your desperation was not so cringeworthy. Ugh. So, to all you guys who worship feminine, all you guys looking to get that attention, affection, validation, and approval from chicks, all you guys looking to service, protect, and defer to female authority, simply to get an ego-stroking belly rub from females, all you guys whose identity and worldview revolves around female interaction, which represents declarations from superior beings that you have worth. I am trying to help you out and let you know that you have something in your teeth right there. Oh, that's thirst. I am here to tell you your breath stinks. It reeks of thirst. And thirst is something you cannot hide. No matter how cool or confident you fancy yourselves, no matter how in charge or smooth or clever or alpha you think you are, your thirst, your desperation, your need for female approval, which translates to your subservience to female whims, your neediness is evident to all those around you, like a zit on the end of your nose that everyone stares at, yet no one will tell you to pop it. Well, I am telling you, your need for females is thirst, and thirsty is not a good look. For the love of ice cream and cake, pop that zit. Overcoming female dependence is the only way. Gee, looks like the monks were onto something after all. Folks, I'd like to thank you for flying Liberation. We will be landing shortly. Stand with me, live free.